we produce a lot of waste. So it is so the goal is that how to improve the sustainability in agro industry is that how to utilize the waste and then see if we can help the waste to become part of the system in the integrated system where the waste will not go out but then can be utilized inside the system, probably more likely as energy, for example, as bioenergy to provide energy for the processing in the agro industry system. Okay, so this is one assignment that I would like you to do. Because I would like to initially I plan to play this video in the class, but then since just to save time, I would like you to later on as part of the assignment is to watch this video. This is a video about industrial and versus sustainable agriculture. There is an industrial farm, and then there are sustainable farm. So what I would like you to do is that to with your team to discuss about what do you think are the advantages and the disadvantages of industrial agriculture, and then also the sustainable agriculture. There are both sides have advantages, but also both sides also have some issues, and I would like you to see those from different perspectives, because then I think one thing that is important is it is very important for us not to see agriculture, sustainable agriculture. We talk about industrial agriculture as just as part of technology, because then it is also involve social aspects, economic aspect, environmental aspect as well. So those are important for you as part of our learning is that to see in bigger picture. Okay, so bigger picture means that not only we as science people or engineering people tend to see it in very narrow. Just okay, I just focus on technologies, but then how the technologies to be applied, that also is dependent from whether the society will be willing to accept that, for example, or the farmers will want to utilize the technology, for example. Also from the economy, whether this economy, not only about the quantity. Okay, we want to do the highest profit, but also when you think about economy, think about whom will get the benefit from the economy, because we can produce a lot of money, but then who will get that? It is an industrial farm, maybe only for people in the corporate. Okay, that is becoming very common in the United States, also in Indonesia, we can see that. But then we want to make sure that the farmers, people, also get the fair share of the benefit of the profit. But environment also. So sustainability is about how to protect the environment. It is the fundamental, the bottom line of for the sustainable agro industry. Okay. I'm sorry, there is someone who is unmute. Can you mute that? Because it makes, okay, thank you. All right, so watch this video and then discuss this with your team as part of your assignment, okay? All right, so this is, I will skip that. This is about sustainability and sustainable agro industry to you. So it is related to what with Dr. Nastiti shared with you earlier on. Okay, when we talk about, let's start bigger picture a little bit. I will try to be done in about 20 minutes here on sustainable development. Okay, so the key on this on sustainable agro industry is on the bigger picture on sustainable development. Okay, so we heard a lot about sustainability. Okay, it becomes like a cliche. It's like everybody use the word sustainability in Indonesian berkelanjutan. So sustainability is a state, a condition. Okay, so a condition where to meet the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their needs. Okay, so that is sustainability. And then when we talk about sustainable development, that is the how. Okay, so if sustainability is the state, just the condition, the sustainable development, the term is the how. That is the how to meet the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of future generation to meet theirs. Okay, just now I would like to remember that. Maybe it's very, you already know that, but I just want to make sure. Okay, so the part also that is important is about the key tenets of sustainability. So it is what is called this triple bottom line. Okay, so sustainability must involve three components. Okay, society at the top, and then economy to support the society, and then environment to support the economy. All right, so think about pyramid. Okay, so society at the top, and then society depends on economy. It makes sense, right? So if a society has a good economy, a healthy economy, then the society will flourish. And they will have good education, good health system, and so on. And then, but the economy depends on the global ecosystem. Okay, so whose health represent the bottom line. So to be sustainable, because then we want to make sure that our life is dependent on the health of the environment. If our environment is not healthy, then probably we can get a good economy, but it is not sustainable. Maybe just for the short profit. Okay, so maybe we can do just like mining. Okay, so we do mining, the producing petroleum. Okay, we can survive, but then petroleum will be over at one day. Okay, so and then so economy will be affected by that. Okay, so and then petroleum also, for example, that can destroy the environment. So the idea of, while a lot of people sometimes who are thinking about petroleum is bad, very bad thing. Yes, there's some, but then oftentimes that we need to also to remember that petroleum also help us to become a better society, right? So we have to be sometimes think about the advantage and disadvantage. So not only just to see from one side only. Okay. So when we talk about sustainable development, think about the purpose. So the purpose of the development is to enlarge people's choices. Okay, so when we help improving agro-industry, for example, so in the principle that we the development of society, for example, the development agro-industry, also to enlarge people's choices. We develop new technologies in agro-industry, then actually then we enlarge the options. Okay, there's a different technologies to choose from, for example. Okay, so the development is to create an enabling environment. Okay, enabling environment for people to basically to enjoy long, healthy, creative life. Okay, so the key that is for a development to be sustainable, the effects of economic development on natural resources, environment must also always be considered. So that will be something that I hope that you come into mind, that when you go to the field next time after after we go to learning about the farmers, about the agricultural processing, think about what is the effect on the environment, on the economy, on the people as well. All right, so the key on this sustainable development is in the middle here. Okay, so enhance the quality of life. Okay, so and the economy, environment, and society, you can see that as as circles. We put that all those in a circle, and then they interact to each other. Okay, it's just like so they, and the result is the enhanced quality of life. That is the sustainability. Okay, then something that is very, very important as well So when we talk about sustainable development, we need to think about the ethical aspects of this. Okay, so what are the ethical aspects of sustainable development? It can be summarized in this one simple word, simple sentence, phrase: enough for everyone forever. Okay, enough everyone forever. All right. So in this definition, the ethical dimension that sustainable development must be built on the concept of equity. Okay, equity. Everybody, is have some ownership. Okay, on sustainable agriculture, everyone that is who are involved participate in the agro industry must have some ownership, equity. Okay, fairness. Okay, so fairness means that, okay, so it has to be fair, like they earlier I talked about economy. Okay, so the economy, who will get the profits? Okay, and then justice. All right, so again, this justice means about, it is about, in making the regulations, and then so it has to, the justice must benefits and for everyone, especially, some oftentimes farmers will be the people who are, they are very important in the process of agro industry, but oftentimes they are the ones who kind of left behind, and that happens everywhere. Any question? Any thoughts so far? I'd like you to, if you have something in mind, put that in the chat room. Okay, so in the chat you can express your thinking or have question for our discussion later on. All right. So sometimes, what I would like you also think about the focus and the connections. All right. So the focus, this is on the right side. That is the focus of the society, economy, and environment. Okay. So for society, the focus is on so it is a social-centric concern. That is the focus will be the human capital, and then the social expectation, regulations, and then the culture. So okay, so the concerns, the focus on the society in United States, so will be different from the people in Indonesia, farmers in Indonesia or in Malaysia or in Thailand. So social expectation. So that, think about, when we talk about social expectation, think about culture, about how is the people living in the area. All right, and then on the economy, think about technocentric concern. So that it is a agro industry for economy is developing technologies that are always the key, is how to make the system more efficient, and then Dr. Nastiti shared that is how to minimize energy usage, how to minimize water usage. Can we minimize the waste? Can we recover the waste? So that will be the technocentric concerns. All right, makes sense. And then the eco-centric concern. Okay, that is the ecosystem. The concerns will be on the health of the natural resources and the ecological capacity. Okay, so it is very, very important for us to understand, okay, what will be the ecological capacity? Because oftentimes, based on what's going on now, often we are overusing our earth. Okay, so we draw our resources more than what our earth can provide. That is a big issue. Okay, so those are the focus. And then the connections. All right, so on the left side, pay attention to those. On the left side. So in the middle is for the people. It is also about social equity. Okay, and then economy, about the profit, economic prosperity. All right, and then on the planet, the environment, that is the environmental stewardship. Okay, so we want to the health of the planet. Okay, so look at the words that's connecting those three circles. All right, so between people and the profit, the key word is equitable. Okay, so equitable means that, okay, so I think I mentioned earlier that for the profit must be fair for everyone. Okay, everyone must get the benefit of the profit. So equitable, equitability, some ownership, some getting the profit. So everyone. All right. So maybe different levels, but then make sure that it is also everyone get the benefits. All right. So and then the relation of people to the planet. The key is bearable. Okay. So a bearable means ability to support. All right. So there are two-way connection on that. Okay. So when the people are healthy, when the people are strong, when people are educated, when the people are wealthy, healthy and wealthy, people will have the ability to help the planet to be more sustainable, to be healthy. All right. So, but then the other way around, a healthy planet, a healthy environment will be able to provide a condition for people to live in a healthy way, and so have the people to have resources to produce. Make sense? So, for example, that if the environment is not healthy, you have the a lot of contamination, a lot of population pollution, and then the people will not be healthy. All right. Okay. Oh, one more thing about the people and profit. It is equitable. Equitability is two-way street also, right? So a good profit will help the people, will provide the ability for people to become wealthy, to become healthy, to become more educated. The other way around, when people are healthy, when people are wealthy, when people are educated, they can produce more and make more profit. Okay. Now the last one, between planet and profit. All right. So the key word is viable. Viable means that it is as possibility, ability, right? So if the people have a strong profit, then with to maintain a healthy environment, it takes it takes money. It takes if you are wealthy, you can do more to the environment. You have the means. Okay. Okay. So that's one way. Profit help the planet potentially. Okay. And then the planet, when it is healthy, can provide provide the possibility for the people to gain more profit. Okay. So a healthy planet will help we get more profit. Okay. So this again this two-way street. Okay. All right. So here there will be team discussion. This is part of your assignment. Okay. So I would like to think about their connections. Okay. You can read what is being asked. This will be the part of your assignment that is explain the connection with three-tenet sustainability based on the figure next. Okay. I already talked about it, but so I would like to make a summary of it. Okay. So you will work with your members of the team in the we will not do the break room, but then do this as a team when you work on the assignment as a team assignment. Okay. And then discussion number 2 with your team, that is about the focus. Okay. So there are questions that I would like you to answer. Okay. So about about focus of concern on the because they're not only about in the picture, but then also the other focuses that you can think of. Okay. Any question on this team discussion number 1 and number 2? Okay, so put that in the chat room if you have any question. All right. So sorry, I think on sustainable development, again, that is we have to think from what is called, I call it the steep perspectives. Okay, early on I said that in agriculture, in anything, so oftentimes we only focus on based on our expertise. Okay, so we only if we are engineer, we only care about the technology without understanding what the social aspects. If we are an economist, oftentimes we do not understand the technology, for example. So as to to be able to participate in helping sustainable development, everyone involved, you are the future generation, the future people, the future leaders to think about in sustainable development. You have to be able to think in the big picture from a social, technology, economy, environmental, and political or policies perspectives. Okay. So we have the guideline. Okay, so from sustainability, you know about the sustainable development goals, and then we have the blueprint, the guidelines. That is, we can use this sustainable development goals as the guideline. So to reach sustainable development, we need to have a blueprint, and the blueprint, it is for everyone, for the entire Earth, because then we cannot treat issue with climate change only in our neighborhood, for example. So it has to be done by the entire, for the people from the entire planet. Okay, so in sustainable development, we need to have a blueprint. Okay, so the blueprint for the peace and prosperity for people and the planet. Okay, now and into the future. What are the goals? The key goals are to end poverty and other deprivation must go hand in hand with the strategies. Okay, so the strategies in the sustainable development is to improve health and education, all right, reduce inequality, and spur economic growth. At the same time, in doing that, very important, that is to all the while we are tackling climate change and working to preserve our environment, our forests, our oceans, our earth, basically. Okay. So you have these 17 goals, and then I think everybody has at least heard about this. All right. So the goal of sustainable development is that there are 17, and then we try to reach it by 2030. Okay, there is we want to, the goals, we have some goals that the milestones that we want to achieve by 2030. If you look at this, I suggest you to look at this website, at the United Nations website about sustainable development. You can see where we are in those 17 goals. So the 17 goals can be divided into, sustainability. You can see that society, economy, environment. Okay, so society, there's a certain, and then and then economy, environment, and so there is a supporting institutions and regulations. So you can see those 17 from this perspectives: society, economy, environment, and also the regulation, to make sure that the sustainability works. All right, I stop here. Any questions so far? Any comments?
Thank you, Professor Justinus. Here, so students, there are two professors over here, so you are able to ask some questions and think of what is going to what is it we can contribute to the development of sustainable agro-industry, especially later on in rural areas. So it's up to you. Yeah, any questions or comments from the students? Hello. These are very important one. About the sustainability and the the way of our living. Here, the three overlap circles are a very important one, Pak Justinus,
Yes.
And I think Pak Justinus still has some materials, Bu Lisa. So if the question from the students, Pak Justinus can continue the materials.
Okay, you can continue, Pak Justinus.
Okay, yeah, and then from the sustainability, all right. So I hope that everyone is awake. I know this here is was 9:40 evening here in the United States, and there is what maybe 8:40 still early morning, but then bear with me. All right, so one thing that I would like to share is that about the relation of sustainability with water, energy, and foods. I forget to add the food nexus. All right, so think about the three components is for a society, for any living things to survive, to continue living. There are three components that we need. Well, actually, one is air, another one is air, but then air is readily available. Everybody air is free, right? So although some part of the world air is very clean, but then other part of the world, air is quality is not bad, but then people still can live with air. Okay, but then the three other things that are water, energy, and foods. Okay, without any one of this, people will die. Okay, any living thing will die. Okay, so water, energy, and foods. And think about those three components. One thing that is we call it nexus, because then they interacted to each other. Okay, so there is an interaction. So water, energy, and food, the nexus is central for sustainable development. Just an idea, for example, agriculture is the largest consumer of the world fresh water resources. Okay. So question to the class or to everyone, what is the percentage of world fresh water resources that are used for agriculture? How many percent? 30%, 50%, 10%, 70%? Okay, if you are listening, type your answer in the chat. Okay, how many percent? The fresh water consumption for agriculture. Anyone listening?
Come on, student. How many percent? I think more than we drink ya, Pak Justinus ya. Oh,
Yes.
Khairun Naim, 10%.
Okay, there are 70%, 70%, maybe 10%. Priya said 60%, 75%. All right, 70%. Yes. So a lot of answer is 70%. Just to take this very quick look. Yes, it is water is what 70%. So 70. Okay, so that is used for agriculture. So that's a lot. Okay, so and then I think everywhere we have issues with water. Okay, so even United States lately, there's some parts of the country that is really have issue with water. There's a lot of drought. That is there is no rain, and then even so there's a western part of United States in California, in Nevada is they have a lot of issues with forest fire. Also, they have a lot of issue with there is no rain, so the water dam, the reservoir, really now is going down very low. So that is create a very big issue. And for example, you see in Africa or in many developing nations that there are people who needs to spend 3-4 hours just to walk to get some water, some clean water. So water is a key. Okay, so in agriculture, about energy, 25% of energy used globally is expended, is utilized for food production. Okay, so and supplies. So foods will not be available without without the availability of clean water. Okay, just the other day I read an article in South Italy, even in developed nations, in wealthy countries, water is an issue. And in Italy, South Italy, the main river, the Po River, it is draining, not enough water. And the result is then, in South Italy, they produce a lot of Parmesan cheese. Okay, so in the Parmesan cheese is produced from milk. Milk is produced from cows, and the cows is the farmers in the South Italy really have issues with getting the water. The water, because the cows need to drink water, also need to eat, to have a food to eat. The farmers need to grow soybean. The farmers need to grow grasses. Because of the drought in South Italy, now the cows are suffering, and then so the production of milk suffering, and the production of the Parmesan cheese suffering. Okay, so you see the interaction of that. If you look at just simply Google it, the drought. What is the impact of drought everywhere? You can see that all those the supply chain issue. So there is multiplier effects on that. When water is not available, when energy is not available enough, foods production is suffering. Okay. Okay. All right. So this is the focus. I think many of you already know. Water security is that related to sustainability. Okay. So water security is access to safe drinking water and sanitation. Okay. So water security actually is a human right. Okay. So everybody has the right to get clean water. Unfortunately, it is not the issue currently. It's not the case right now. There's some parts of the world where people do not have water security or secure or sanitation. Okay, energy security, basically the access to clean, reliable, and affordable energy. Yes, for cooking, for heating, for lighting, for communications, for productive. Okay, and the question to us, all of us, is that do we have energy security right now? The answer is no, because then many parts of the world, energy is still is not clean. Energy is not clean. Energy is not reliable, and energy is not affordable. Okay, so security that has to have the clean, reliable, and affordable. All right, food security, that is that we have to think about availability, about access, about utilization, and the key is this stability. Okay, so the production of food need to be stable. All right, so are we on that level right now? Food security, are we secure with our food production? Apparently not, because then it is really easily affected by climate. For example, a drought. I just give you about this situation in Italy, and then it is an issue. And then food security. Now we have this, because of the war in Ukraine. Okay, that's human. A group of people or someone who is crazy. The leader, is making war, and then suddenly, Ukraine and United States are the main producer of wheat, right? So suddenly, and many parts of the world, in Africa, in Asia, people need wheat, for their staple food. And because of the war, there is a food security is really affected. Think about it, just several months of war, suddenly now, there's a lot of issues already. So we are very, our condition right now is, I'm not saying, to be negative, but then, our security in water, energy, and foods is really, very easily to be affected. So that is an issue. Okay, so I will think about, this is something for you to think. Okay, so the roles of water, energy, and food. Okay, think about how this water, food, the interaction of water and food with energy and energy to water. I think that you can take by yourself. I will discuss that with your group. Okay. So I think probably and factors affecting the security of water, energy, food nexus. Okay. So right now we have 7 billion people living around the earth. And then in 2050, it is expected that there will be 10 billion people. Okay, so this the security of water, energy, food nexus security right now is not really strong. Okay, but then imagine that is think that in the next 30 years or the population will increase by 30%. Okay, so the increase will have this, the demand for fresh water will increase by 40%. That is for the water. Okay, so the demand for food will increase by 35%. Okay, and then the demand for energy will increase by 50%. Okay, so the demand for the food and then for water is because of the population increase. Okay, and then the demand for the foods and for the foods and energy, it is also caused also, in addition to population increase, is also caused by the demands of the larger middle class, right? So people in Indonesia, in Thailand, in Africa, they want to be, want to have a better life. Someone who is initially just walking or riding bicycles, now they want to ride motorcycles. People, a family who initially just simply having motorcycles, now they want to drive cars. Okay, that require more energy. People want to be to have more bigger house. All right, want to have better, more electronic gadgets. More, that means that people eat more, people have utilized more electricity. Also, the demand of energy is caused by the increased urbanization. All right, so more and more people from the rural communities move to the cities, where in the cities demand for energy is high. Okay, so these are the factors, the factors that affecting the factors that give pressures to the availability of water, energy, and food nexus. Okay. So one thing is that this is very quick. Is that think about, we will talk about agriculture 4.0. Okay. So basically, the world has to produce 70% more food by 2050, using less energy, using less fertilizer and pesticide, while lowering the levels of greenhouse gas and coping with climate change. That is the challenge. Okay, we have to increase more food by 70% more food by 2050. And then but while we are using less energy, okay, and using less fertilizer, can we do that? Okay, so why we want to have this summer course on sustainable agro-industry, also to help you, you will be responsible. You guys will be the leaders of the future. Oftentimes, agriculture are not seen as a prestigious career. A lot of people want to, young people just want to work in the banks, work in the cities, but then not many people want to be farmers. And oftentimes, because then the farming is not seen as a choice of career by many young people like you. And think about, one thing that is to make agriculture is to be more attractive, is that how we can increase that, improve how agriculture to be improved, to be more sustainable. Okay, so that's why it's called agriculture 4.0. Okay, so we want to utilize old technologies must be maximized and new technology must be generated. Okay, it's a big challenge. All right, so I will thinking about the value chains, I think Dr. Nasti also shared this. When we talk about agriculture 4.0, think about the supply chains. Okay, so from the farming of the plantation, cultivation, harvest, transport, storage, processing, those requires a lot of thinking in that. Okay, so agriculture 4.0 must involve those. Okay, so basically, that is agriculture 4.0 is the next big trend facing the industry to drive greater business efficiencies, okay, in the face of rising populations, climate change. Okay, so agricultural 4.0 has to look at both the demand side and then for the production side. Okay, so we have to see that is a connect the demands and then the supply. Okay, why is that? Probably that because one thing is that we want to reduce waste, for example, on just to produce just enough food. So just to make sure that everyone get the opportunity to get food. Okay, so next time talk about this agriculture 4.0, the trends including the Internet of Things, use big data, greater focus on precision agriculture. Okay, so one thing is that it must be a green one with science and technology at its heart. I will just skip. This is some example. You can read it by yourself in the slides. Smart irrigation, precision farming, fish farming application, smart greenhouse application. Okay, livestock monitoring, smart poultry. So think about those are possibility for the agriculture 4.0 technologies. All right, I would like to stop our to one slide that if something that if you just remember one slide from this presentation, use this. Okay, so this is a very, I think I developed this because I like this because that kind of summarized the thinking. All right, so on the left, so we have this a square that is filled with sustainability, about the sustainability concept on the left, that is sustainable, prosperous world based on equity, fairness, and justice. All right. So for sustainability to take place, that is the continuing life of the society, with healthy economy, healthy environment. They have to be supported by a healthy water energy food nexus, by sustainable water energy food nexus. So there's an interaction of that. All right. So you can think about example about strong economy, strong environment, strong society will be able to produce more water, energy, and food, basically. And then how to reach the sustainability is that we have the blueprint. Okay, so the blueprint for the global concerted effort. Okay, so it is we can use this UN Sustainable Development Goals as the global goals. Okay, that for people, the entire planet to work together. And then what is important is the assessment. Okay, one thing that we need to learn is about how the ability to assess, to evaluate. So we want to evaluate the progress of this sustainability, about water, energy, food nexus, about utilizing the blueprints. We have to use stick perspectives: social, technology, economy, environment, political, or policies to assess the entire thing. Okay, so that's why I put everything in this rectangle, because then when do assessment, we cannot just simply look at the sustainability just for the people, economy, and the social, but then we have to look at environment. We have to look also on the impact on the food, water, energy, and then in assessing the success of sustainable development goals, we have to see it from assessment from the social, technology, economy, environmental, and politics, and political or policies. So this will be the gist or the summary of what I talk about this morning or this evening at my place. One example is the last example. I'm sorry that I overtime a bit. Indonesia. Indonesia is the world palm oil producer. Okay, so this is very big right now. If you are in Indonesia, and when those of you who go to Indonesia will hear about this. Indonesia is produce about 50% of the palm oil. All right, but there is it is very it is an ironic. It is an irony that lately in Indonesia, people have trouble in purchasing cooking oil. But remember, palm oil is 50% of the production of the world is coming from Indonesia, but people in Indonesia are unable to purchase cooking oil. What is the issue on that? So this is an example of what is this a not sustainable agro industry right now. There are many factors that we can talk about this. There are people something for a discussion here maybe next time about why it is an issue. It is Indonesia is the largest producer of that cooking oil, but in Indonesia, people have problems to purchase cooking oil. The price is so high, and then people have to wait in line to purchase cooking oil. This like chicken, or a rooster die in the mountains of rices. Okay, so it is it is an irony. So this is a summary of what I would like you to know from this lecture tonight. Okay, and then I think this one you can skip it, but it's this is about environmental concerns, some issues. There are many concern about water, energy, food mixes, sustainability of agro industry that is related by environment concern, climate change, issue with water, issue with ozone, issue with soil degradation and food supplies, species extinction, ocean and fishery resources, concentration of toxics, okay, and then more importantly, depletion and degradation of natural resources. Okay, so those are issues, something to discuss as well. Okay, all right. So for the assignment, work with your team on discussion number 1, 2, and 3, and then related to the sustainable agri-industry, industrial agriculture and sustainable agriculture. That is the discussion. Okay, so in addition to what Dr. Nastiti asked you to do this for me. That is, think about what about do the discussion and then write down the result of your discussion and then submit that to me. Okay. All right. That will be the end of my talk. I'm sorry that I over time here. Any question? Any concern?
Any questions, student? Hello?
Yeah, I think everybody, maybe if you can.
Pak Justinus, I'm just wondering that regarding to your slide about how the sustainability actually making a profit for us, yeah. But of course, the profit itself, it somehow should be divided fairly through all the people. Is that in our system? Is that possible to do that? I mean, like everyone should have the same, what is that called? Same right to access the food, access the water, but right now the system is not allowed to do that because of the rule, because of the oligarchy, monopoly, and etc. What do you think about that?
That is probably an issue has been taking place for since the first century. Basically, it is because of the humanity. Right? It is people greediness, and then there's a government that who only focus on to support the industry or a certain group of people who wants to control everything. Okay, so it can be done, but then it requires a good commitment from the government, a good commitment from industry, and then especially the good commitment from the society. I think the issue is that, for example, farmers, as I said, farmers are very, very important in agro industry, right? Basically, they are the one who do the hard work to produce food. But farmers also oftentimes, they are, I apologize for this, but then oftentimes many farmers currently, they are not highly educated. They are in general living in the rural communities, and they are, I call it, what simple people. They do not understand about politics. They do not understand about sustainability, and then so that's why my challenge to the future generation is that how to make people to empower farmers, how to empower people who are in the food producer. Okay, so you will hear in the YouTube that I talk to you. I would like to watch about industrial agriculture versus sustainable agriculture. Oftentimes, industrial agriculture is controlled by corporate. Okay, so a corporation, only people who do not know a bit about working hard in the field, people who live in the city in very comfortable life, they control, they get all the money. Okay, so it is because of the humanity by itself right now is very, very unequal. Okay, only the stronger will survive, or they control everything. Okay, so that is a difficult question to answer, Bu Endang. But then I think the key to help to increase the equity especially think about farmers, think about people who are kind of in the producer. They need to be educated. They need to be they need to have to understand more about their ability, to understand more about their value. Okay, oftentimes they do not understand their values in the big picture of agro industry supply chain. Okay, so maybe this is something that you the students start thinking about it. I think this is a very important. This is a very big issue. Technologies actually is not lacking. We can do that. We can produce more water, clean water. We can produce more food. The issue in the world is not because of the lack of food. The total foods are enough, but it has been only certain group of people who control the food, have access to the food. It is a distribution. It's a distribution of issue is a big issue. And then also again is in the United States, for example, we are very wasteful about food. Okay, so more than 40% of the food production is going into waste, not being utilized. And then so that is a big issue. The efficiency of utilizing food is a big issue. We are very wasteful in general as a society. So a lot of non-technical aspects that happens, but then we have to understand this, and then we have to think, okay, how can we help changing this? Okay, so my challenge to you guys in this course to have us thinking about understanding. Okay, so agro industry is not only about technologies, about you gaining knowledge in the technical aspects, but also understanding about how can we, as educated people who knows about have a big picture, understand the big picture of about agro industry. How can we help? Okay, in Bali, for example, I heard that the average age of farmers are 50 years old. And then so not many young people wants to work as farmers. That is a big issue, right? So think about that. Okay, think about how we as you will be going back to your places as we develop careers, and then think about this, how to help us, the society, help to the farmers, the agriculture to be more sustainable, to be more equitable, and is the benefits not only benefiting certain group of people through corporations, but then how about for the farmers to have to know their rights, to have more ownership, to have more have a bigger share in the market of in the market of the agro industry, get the bigger portion of the profits. Okay, that's a challenge. So my answer to the Bu Endang is that it is a challenge for all of us.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. Justinus. And some Kainaki, I think they send some message in the chat box, but it's like what is that called? Supporting the this material. Yes, we agree with the message that you sent through the chat box. I think this is it is any question from student, I encourage you to discuss this thing. If not, today is all.
I have some just
yes.
in response to your question to Pak Justinus, actually, just short sentences for respond Bu Endang. What we need is we have to develop a smart and wise society. Yeah, 2 minutes. The resources available right now without decreasing the possibility of the young generation to sustain the life. Not waiting until the last tree can be cut, not waiting until the last fish can be angled, and not waiting until the last river can be polluted. And at the end, we realize that we could not eat the money. Okay, that is the short message from me. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, money is nothing new, Nastiti. Yeah, I agree with this kind of the thinking. Thank you so much to Professor Justinus and Professor Nastiti for the great insight to us. Yeah. But remember, there are still the assignment to think about with your group, and you can send the assignment, the answer of this assignment on the what is that called, the result of group discussion through the Google Classroom, and I will make a room and then just drop the file in there. Okay, I think that is the end of our class today. Thank you so much. Give applause to them, to Professor Nastiti and Professor Justinus. I think that we all can get what is that called, benefit, not benefit, but at least you can broaden your knowledge and broaden your vision, yeah, to act wisely, yeah, in the society. Okay, thank you, Bu Nastiti, and thank you, Pak Justinus. Just remind you for tomorrow class, I think with the same link and same time. So I will with you with the material of design thinking that will be delivered by Dr. Sanan Patratniom from Maju University and Ibu Mirna Mace from Colorado School of Mines. So don't miss it. Thank you so much. Very good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yes, Pak Justinus.
One more time. I just want to remind to the students that the assignments that from Dr. Nastiti and from there's team assignments. Okay, so So you can just work together to produce one file, but then you can upload your file individually to your assigned, your assigned slot. But then just one file, that the same file from one group, you can, everybody in the group can upload that. Okay, so I will review your assignment just for one group and give the same grade for the member of the groups. Okay.
Okay. It means there is the 14 group, meaning that there is 14 file in that room, yeah, in the Google Classroom. Yeah, I will make a slot room for your assignment then. Okay. Thank you, Pak Justinus. Thank you, Bu Nastiti. Thank you, everyone. See
Okay,
you
thank you, everyone. All right.
tomorrow. Yeah, see you tomorrow and have a great day. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Bu Nastiti. Bye-bye.